Time is speeding up, chaos is shifting into a new level, and we feel the pull to unlock the mysteries of the universe. Timeless spiritual wisdom offers the point of stability to navigate these times and to open our greatest potential. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the fun and knowledge of visionary best-selling authors Sri and Kira as they explore these mysteries and invite your higher love to come forward. And now, here are Sri and Kira.
Namaste, beloved ones, and welcome to the voice of passionate action. I am Kira Ra.
And I am Sri Ram Ka, and we are delighted to be with you live right now.
And if some of you are saying, wait a minute, is that really Sri Ram Ka live? The answer is yes. Here, look, I'll touch him just so you know it's true. He's about 40 pounds thinner and in a very rapid period of time has really become an extraordinary beacon of light, as you all can see, even more so. And look, if you were not with us yesterday, with all of my heart and soul, Sri, where can they watch yesterday's show?
Well, yesterday's show is up at YouTube, Oneness Talk Radio channel. And the audio is just about to be posted at all of the other websites.
Which is onenesstalkradio.com and of course SriandKiraRadio.com.
Yeah.
And the reason we're sharing that is we talked a lot about the fact that Sri has recently literally become a living miracle for the second time in less than a month. And with that has come extraordinary insights. And certainly it is pulsed us, and the word pulsed is being used very intentionally because we are all in this pulse wave of energy right now, but it has pulsed us into our ikigai moment. And we wanted to share more about that because this weekend, this post-April 16 energy that has opened up on the planet calls forward the promises from that post-retrograde period. And there is so much that is interweaving. And before we go any further, knowing that Sri and I have certainly been through a very intense, what people might want to label as a dark night of the soul or energy attacks or all those other things, and we're going to definitely chat about that. We really just first want to share with you that in this moment, no matter what is being thrown at you, no matter what illusion is coming your way, it's trying to get you to despair. Remember, it's the energy of despair that is trying to get to you. The energy of all hope is lost. The energy of this will never, ever be better. The energy of, oh my God. That, if you are experiencing that in any form, and I'm also bringing it up because Sri and I honestly have too many emails to read all of them. Mm-hmm. But one of the consistent themes has been that a lot of you are going through very similar to what Sri and I went through in your own way. Here's what we want you to hear. This is your ikigai moment, and that's a celebration worth shouting from the mountaintops. And we're going to be talking a lot more about that today.
You know, it's fun to have a new word in your vocabulary.
Although to the Japanese, it's not new.
No. The ikigai moment is that clarity of where your meaning is, a reason for living, why you want to wake up in the morning. And I must say that one of the reasons Kira and I were attracted to this model coming from the Japanese culture is that it will evolve with you as you ascend. Where you derive your juice will continue to evolve. Yet it's a useful tool to learn how to be conscious and to use your consciousness to affirm that which is important. Because if we don't set priorities, that which we wish to give our attention to, then the outer world will readily distract us.
Well, and this is why we had been sharing about really that personally, I have been unplugged now for a little over a month. I mean, really unplugging. And yet I do want to just stop right now and invite Sri to join me as we stop and acknowledge that through, and you will always hear what you need to hear, through a beautiful email that was sent to me today from one of our beloved students in India. We learned of the attacks, the terror attacks on the temples in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
And, beloved angels, this is just such another perfect example of seeing this at all the levels. There's the horror of the density level, and then we can witness ourselves seeing that within density. We're witnessing the horror of that. But then if we just lift, if we just become the witnesser, we notice that all those beings that were in those temples their soul agreement was to literally resurrect on this day, that those beautiful beings are free, and that through the blessing of them attaining their freedom, they also became incredible warriors of light in so many different ways. And then we can lift above that, right? We go from the witnesser to witnessing. So now we're witnessing that witnesser that's having that experience of the third dimension. And in the witnessing, we see the much greater experience of this and how this is part of such a greater release, and that this is happening at a moment where choices are being made, and that these energies are serving every being at a core level, because we are at a core moment. And then we can pop again and become the witness again from a ninth dimensional experience whereby everything starts making sense. And this is something we want to acknowledge on this day of resurrection energy, that literally, Shri, you are standing here as a witness of resurrection for all of us.
Yes, yeah.
Shri, literally, and honestly, if he was to unbutton his shirt right now and show you, he looks like a torture victim. He is literally black and blue from the bottom of his ears all the way down past his chest, all the way around his sides. And there is this symbolism of resurrection that I feel is happening for us and for all of you that are tuning in with us. And this isn't about any one of us. This is about celebrating the collective us.
Yes.
That we are here, we are ready, we are open, and we are guided, and thereby we are creating. And this is all part of that post-April 16 promise, so to speak.
You know, there's so many opportunities and layers for understanding. It's important to recognize that the meaning one derives is a reflection of their level of consciousness.
Yes.
So one person looks at an event and becomes judgmental. Another person looks at an event and feels compassion. Another person looks at an event and goes, ah, so. You know, it's all about the various levels of consciousness.
Right.
It's not to say any one perspective or value system is better than another. It's to say that we use our values and perspectives to inform ourselves. And through that, we grow in wisdom, compassion, and love. We continue our journey, whatever that might be. So I do want to say that this time we are in is unlike other times you've been in.
Yeah, and that's like,
Yeah.
put an exclamation point on that, and fluorescent light bulbs or
And-
whatever
and-
else, neon.
And I what I know from the letters we receive, let alone our experiences, many people have gone through crisis, have gone through the dark night of the soul, maybe in the thick of that depression.
Could also be having, like, everything seems to be going backwards. It's not. And we want to talk about this. This is about the energy of the rising general. And so we're going to talk a lot more about this.
Yeah, and there, I would never have used these terms earlier, but there is what could be called a holy war. There is a tension, and that tension is basically the energies that would seek to contain the ascension opportunity are in direct interference with the rising light of those who are expanding. And so that interference energy, there's two things. One is it's like a climate. It's like a bad wind, you know, that you're having to lean into. That's one level of it. Another
precious.
level of it is what you actually allow in. And so when we have frustration or anger or judgment or hurt or unforgiveness, those frequencies allow in this interference to interfere more directly in your personal path.
Now, I want to jump in. Shri and I, as all of you know, if you listened yesterday, we gave you the full details of how Shri Ramka is literally a living miracle sitting here today. He did survive a double lung thrombosis with over 90% closed processes over the past few days. Listen to yesterday's show. But the reason I'm saying this again is because you are in your miracle moment as well. And no matter what is being thrown at you, it is all illusion. And we had it thrown at us at the literal life and death level, and can share with you that There is. I often refer to it as the battle for the dominion of your brain.
Yeah.
And this battle for the dominion
Yeah.
of your brain is, and a lot of you may say, but if this is all an illusion, how can that be? I love that question. And the key is because the illusion in and of itself has an active creative principle. And this is why we have been so loved and so protected that for the past 2 years, and I keep inviting all of you, if you're over here at YouTube at Official Shri and Kira, go watch all of our predictions, even just for the past year. Just take any series of 12 months and sincerely receive and pay attention, because we are ready for this moment and we have been prepared. And the gift is that this is the moment where honestly the matrix collapses, right? We're there where we're at our own reboot moment. And how we bring this in, how we bring this forward is really important. And so I first and foremost want to just take a moment and acknowledge all of you over at the Oneness Talk Radio chat room. Thank you for telling us that the YouTube live stream is playing on Soul Mirrors on Oneness Talk channel for those looking for the stream. Thank you. You know, guys, we are really sincere. If you want us to continue, and we know you do because Sri Ram is still on the planet, we need help. We're trying to do this all ourselves.
We set up the event, but then it broadcasts to a prior setup.
We don't pretend to know what we're doing, but we really are trying. And if you have a heart and want to help us, help us. But it is there. It is there. Why it says Soul Mirrors, who knows? But it is broadcasting. It should be broadcasting at Official Shri and Kira also as well, right?
Some reason it's not.
It's not. Okay, so we are just broadcasting at Oneness Talk Radio, and we will get it posted over at Official Shri and Kira.
We'll put the recording there. But this is part of the techno fun.
Ooh, yeah.
And I say tech, no fun.
Yeah. No kidding.
But it was all set up, and then somehow the little gremlins get in there.
And that's our life, isn't it? We think it's all set up, and somehow the little gremlins come in. And those little gremlins walked right into Shri's physical body. And so the reason that we want to talk about this, and again, my heart, just thank you to all of you beautiful people that are writing in the chat. We love you so much. Is because there has been a flood of energy. I have been ensouling almost all morning, so forgive me. I didn't even have time to change my clothes before the show because there's been so much coming in. And for those of you that have our app, and if you don't have our app, get the app.
Yeah.
Spiritual Mastery with Shri and Kira at Android or Apple Store. This week's ensouled message is part of a series of messages that came in. And this is what we're going to be talking about a lot on the second half of the show today. But we do want to remind you, and we do have people that are already holding, that please give us a call, say hello. Our phone number is 517-208-1500. Again, that's 517-208-1500. We also want to give a big shout out to bbsradio.com, where we are also broadcasting if you want to listen to us there. And a big love to Doug and Dawn, and thank you for holding our presence. And Shri, I'm going to, those of you, Shri, you see his neck, those of you that are watching at YouTube, I'll just do a little bit. That's just a hint of what's going on there. And I'm not trying to.
I'm now a turtleneck kind of guy.
No, I told him he's my Neelkanth Shiva because he has received the poison and illuminated the blue neck. And we love you too. And so it's really a moment. It is, what is this ikigai and why is it so important? Because each of us will arrive at our own ikigai moment when it is our time. And again, you want to put up the okay. We're going to put up the ikigai. Here it is. So if you look at this, if you're watching us at YouTube over at Oneness Talk Radio at the YouTube channel, so if you're watching us right now, and if you're not watching us, no worries. Let me describe this. Imagine in front of you a piece of paper and you draw 4 circles, but you make sure all 4 circles intersect each other. Well, by doing so, you basically have 4 circles that have made other shapes and other experiences. Well, if you look right in the middle, the word ikigai is there. And ikigai is, as we mentioned earlier, it is a Japanese word, and it's actually made from 2 different Japanese words, iki and gai. And when those 2 words come together, what it does is it creates an energy that offers us 3 distinct blessings. Number 1, it's our reason for living, the reason for being alive. Number two, it's our meaning for life, or it gives meaning to our life. And number three, it's that special thing that makes life worth living, that reason you want to get up in the morning. And so this moment that we have all been through, Shri and I included, even though, and I pray with all my heart and soul that none of you have had to go through it the way we have, this has brought us to yet our ikigai moment. And an ikigai moment is a moment where you absolutely become clear. You know your reason for being alive. You have meaning for your life, and you know why you're getting up every morning. And because of that, you are able to create through the energy of that process. And that's what the ikigai diagram does. And in the diagram that we're showing, it starts with the 4 basics for that person, because each person's ikigai is different. But how we overlap the 4 basic energies, call it, north, south, east, west, call it the 4 directions,
Well,
call it whatever you want.
This is like a classic empowerment tool
Yes,
to help
yes.
people get clear on what are they willing to claim.
And the universe gave it to us.
Yeah, and so it may start off at one level of your life with being clear about your skills and your needs, and maybe you're looking for a partnership or career. And another level of your life, it's about spiritual practice
Right.
and divine communion.
Mhm.
And so,
And a good cup of coffee if you're looking at my graphic.
hey, there's a coffee.
Hey, what a surprise.
And so we offer this
Ecuadorian.
to you as a tool to help flush out your own clarity.
Yes.
Because so often we deceive ourselves by that which is commonly in our field of attention
Yes.
versus inform ourselves by that which is in our deeper wisdom.
Right.
And so when we are given an exercise to fill in the blanks, so to speak, it gives us an opportunity to decide, is that really true for me? Is this my highest aspiration at this time? And that's only useful. Only good can come of that, and it help you with your clarity and your focus, so that you could wake up in the morning and say yes.
And yes, we're saying yes to you. I want to, Shri, as you were sharing that, and as we're talking more about this, guys, we're at, and I really encourage you, stay with us throughout the whole show today, because in the second half of the show today, we're going to be talking about the rise of the generals and what this really means and what's happening. Because as Shri started mentioning earlier, there is a battle for the dominion of your brain, and it does exist even though we're in this co-creative illusion. And it's part of how we actually unravel the illusion and regain the divine ascended presence that we each are. And everything is playing out right now, literally everything. And, speaking of everything, I wanted to share, we're getting so many emails. I thought maybe we could
let's
share
share.
a few emails. A lot of them also refer to yesterday's show. And again, if you have not connected with yesterday's show, if you're over at the Oneness Talk Radio YouTube channel right now, there it is. It's right there. And of course, you can grab the audio of the show at onenesstalkradio.com and at shriandcareradio.com by later today, Sunday, the Resurrection Day, Sunday, April 21. So, Shri, I thought maybe we'd begin with Brenda and just share. It's just such a beautiful sharing. And it's so, even though her situation's a little is unique for her, it carries an energy that a lot of other emails we're receiving are sharing.
Yeah, so she writes, Dearest Shri and Kira, I watched your amazing Exploring the Mystery show yesterday, and all I can say is, wow.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Between Shri's miraculous second resurrection story and witnessing the divine love between you, that's you and me.
That's you.
I was literally brought to my knees with tears.
Oh, sweetheart.
And my
Thank
heart
you.
burst wide open. Kira's description of how she experienced the witnessing the witnesser was life-changing for me.
Thank you.
My 25-year marriage ended this week. And as Kira described her moment of rising above it all, where none of it could touch her, I was able to access that place as well.
Congratulations.
Even though my future is a big question mark right now, it feels like I no longer have solid ground under my feet, I do feel solidly anchored in my heart and will arise from there. Sending you both my love, Brenda.
Yes, you will. And Brenda, we read your email in witness of this entire community as we all support you through a moment of extraordinary courage, through a moment of extraordinary mastery, and through a moment where you have clearly said yes to the greater expansion. And my heart, Shree's heart, honors you because we know this is a step that can only be taken in extraordinary trust. And so thank you. Thank you, my love. Thank you for sharing. And you know, Shree, as I was witnessing you sharing that, I was noticing over here in the Oneness Talk Radio chat, I mean, so much going on here, but I wanted to read this from Jess. This is a sharing from Jess Juntanen. And those of you that may not know, hey, Jess Juntanen is the host of this incredible program at onenesstalkradio.com called Soul Fusion Cafe, recently expanded to an hour show on Sundays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And if you can't be there live, catch the archive, but try to be there live if you can. It's pretty awesome. So here's what Jess is saying right now. Hi, Jess. I feel the clarity, the purpose, the meaning, the vitality. Right on. That wait till you read the weekly Ensouled message in the app this week. It's gonna blow your mind with what you just said. Thank Goddess to be at this whole new level. It's like deeper and bigger than ever before. Trust. Yes. Yes, we're there and we agree. I see lots of people, second resurrection, sending love, all part of the illusion. Now, Jess, you said, according to the chat 9 minutes ago, it's all part of the illusion. And no, wait, that was right above Jess because I just lost her because we have so many people in chat. There it is. You said, call in the support team.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking a lot about that in the second half of the show because, again, as we mentioned, the Ensouled message that's in the app this week, the weekly Ensouled message, was part of a huge series that's been downloading through us that's all about this ikigai moment, all about how we got here, and all about literally calling in the support team and what that means for each one of us.
We're going to explore that more
pretty
deeply
profoundly.
soon.
Yeah, I'm looking at all of you guys. I'm feeling our audience today. Amazing.
But before we get too far away from it, there's a wonderful little teaching moment here in Brenda's email.
Absolutely.
And the way she phrased it is, I don't feel I have solid ground under my feet. I do feel solidly anchored in my heart. I just want to underscore the importance of this realization that she's sharing.
Very powerful.
When we go through a life transition, a crisis, a moment that comes out of the sidelines or whatever it might be, those are the trigger moments that our ego will scramble to find something in the past that once provided stability, whether it's judgment and righteousness, whether it's poor me, whether it's another form of exterior oriented or emotionally oriented juice, firmness, you know, a firm opinion or a firm belief that you had outgrown sometimes comforts the ego. As opposed to, say, I feel the stability of my heart, and I'm willing to allow the ground beneath my feet to waver a bit. Because this is the stability. As you remember, the heart is the foundation of the ascended chakra system.
Yeah, that's really a beautiful remembrance. And if you're not familiar with what Sri is talking about, he's talking about the divine galactic blueprint. That is the ascended chakra system. And so you may want to go to our website, shriandkira.com, and right up at the top under all the tabs, click on Yoga of Self-Ascension, and all these things will drop down and you will see divine galactic blueprint and learn more about it because that really is the anchoring of your ascended presence.
And so congratulations, Brenda.
Yes, a mastery moment indeed.
This does not mean there isn't pain or discomfort or grief because
often there will be.
Well, you would. I can't imagine there not be.
Right.
Because leaving a 25-year marriage, there's so many strings in your heart that are attached to what was, and it takes time for that to heal. Because those strings will point out where love and light need to be brought. Yeah. And it's a very human process. It can move fairly rapidly, but it's there nonetheless. So we wish you much love and light and onward.
And upward, right? Ascended presence. You know, Shri, why don't we say hi? We have so many people holding right here. I'm going to go right over to the call board and let's say hello to Lynn from Culver City, California. Namaste, Lynn. Welcome to the show, Angel.
Hi. Oh, I didn't expect it. Namaste. And for Shri, I'm so thrilled.
Thank you.
I have a question. A few weeks ago, I had a hip replacement that went extremely well, and initially was given some incredible drugs and everything. But a few days after I was home, I was specifically directed to go to a YouTube, turn off all devices, and this YouTube came on and specifically was talking to me about crossing over the portal, like to the fifth dimension, and all these very specific things. I just want to know, was that real or was that drug induced?
I'm breathing because you have it's so funny, Lynn. There's like I have the response for that, but you have like three other beings here. They're like all standing in line. They're like, well, since we have your attention. So the first thing I want to share with you is that, yes, that was very real. And they're saying the drugs helped you to be able to receive it, that you're learning how to now navigate that without the pharmaceuticals, but that in order for your nervous system to be attuned to learn how to start receiving more of these transmissions, the drugs actually were a help. And so this was like kind of the extra bonus of healing the physical body while simultaneously doing what had to happen in your energy body at the same time. And so this was actually a blessing, is what they're saying. Now, look, these other beings that are standing around, they call themselves the Trinity of the Divine Brethren that has been tapping on your shoulder for a while now. Wake up, our sister, take off the mask, arise again, and take our hand, for your moment is now. And so it is.
Oh, wonderful. Last time I tuned into YouTube that made me scream is when I found you, Sri and Kira, the first time years ago. So I knew it was special.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Much love, dear.
We love you, Angel. Many blessings.
Love you. Love you. Love you. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste, honey. Many blessings. You know, I think I'm still in souling. And forgive me, guys. Like I mentioned, we've had so many messages downpouring. That's why we're going to talk about that in the second half of the show. That now that I'm connecting with our callers, there's just like this effortless moment of like, you guys are loud. Like my ears are filled with these harmonies. Should we say hello to someone else?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over to Santa Rosa, California. It looks like we're saying hello to Elena. Namaste, Angel.
Namaste.
Hi,
I
honey.
love you guys so much.
Thank you,
Love you so
sweetheart.
much.
Thank you.
I've been listening to both of you for a few years now, and my heart goes to both of you, and especially to hearing about now because of what he's going through. But he's such an inspiration for people like me, you know. He's given us so much. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much we're helping.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Appreciate you sharing
Yeah.
that.
We feel your extraordinary
I'm-
being.
I would love to have a mini soul reading if possible.
Oh, absolutely. How could I refuse a queen? I mean, and first and foremost, that's how you are appearing before me. You're very you're standing and your arms are out and your skin is like a mahogany golden color. It's very, very beautiful. And your hair is like one with this robe. But it's all these beautiful crystalline colors, and your eyes have what look like two lasers of energy coming out of them. And so this message, my love, it's like I'm really having a hard time staying in my body. This message is from this aspect of you to you. And she's gazing at you right now and saying, my most beloved one, arise and remember that you are now ready. When have you forgotten the crown that you wield? When you made this choice, you knew there would be challenges. It is time now to relax, remember, and move forward. And so it is.
So it is. Love you so much. Namaste.
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 Namaste. Whew, I don't know about anybody else, but I am flying. I mean, do any of you
No,
feel
it's
this flying energy right now?
angelic.
Woo, really flying. And of course, now I'm smelling the wafting Palo Santo incense that Shri lit right before we went on the air, and that's certainly helping. It's incredible. You guys are amazing. This is the ikigai moment. This is what brings us here. Is this collective, this unified process, the four core energies. What are your four core energies? You know, in that little diagram, we showed very density type, you know, ones that are kind of generic for people, but what is your four core? If somebody said to you, my four core is, what is your north, south, east, and west? What is the harmony that brings you on this day of the resurrection? It is the balance of the cross, the equilateral energy that will restore that harmonic center. And that is the ikigai moment that is inviting you to stand up renewed and with even greater capacity, empowered to burst forward. And I'm excited when we get to the second half of the show, because this is everything we're talking about today.
and I just, again, I want to mention, if you haven't tuned into the Living Ankh practice, go to shriankira.com and look for that.
Yeah.
The Living Ankh practice does involve the outstretched arms and running energy. It's very much the ascended frequencies of what was modeled at that fatal moment.
Well, and that, again, that's at shriankira.com. These are all free. Shriankira.com, just right there at the top where it has the tabs, just go to Yoga of Self-Ascension and it'll drop it all down. Living Ankh practice. And fabulous reminder, Shri.
Because we are on this very special day to the Christian world, and there's so much symbolism and meaning that one can derive, and it's important to recognize that truth is woven into so many distortions.
Yeah.
Truth is woven into so many density and ascended frequencies, and it's our discernment filters that will allow us to extract that which is for us to know, which is for us to remember. And so life is a great adventure of unwrapping little gifts, is it not?
Or big ones.
Big gifts.
But it's a question of what we do with them. And you know, Shri, speaking of gifts, why don't we come over here to the call line and let's go ahead and we're going to say hello to Sharika down in Atlanta. Hey, Sharika, namaste, angel, welcome.
Namaste, Shri and Kira. Blessings. Oh my God, prayers to you both. I'm outside just walking and I was just listening like, oh, well, if I'm meant to get picked today, I'll get picked.
And you
Oh
did.
my God,
Yay.
Yeah, you guys are such a blessing and an inspiration. Like, oh my God, today is just like we made it. And I mean, and just I listened to yesterday's show early this morning, and I mean, I'm just in tears looking at Shri. Just that level of love. And when you're a lover and you've lived your whole life believing in love, I mean, Shri, just as a man to witness it, it's just like, oh my God, love is real.
Love
So
is.
I just want to say thank you guys for all you do. I mean, now this kind of become like the highlight to listen to you guys every week and to see, you know, what's new and to tap in and tune in. So I'm honored and I just thank you.
Oh, thank you, my
Oh,
love.
thank you for
We
that-
are
that
so
witnessing.
honored. What an extraordinary presence you bring to us all today. You are amazing.
You know, I was wondering if I could just get a mini soul reading, you know, while I just sit out here and bask in the sun and
Nice.
just enjoy
There
guys.
you go.
Woohoo! Well, I'll share with you that, yes, of course. But as you were sharing that, I was gazing out the window of our studio here because I kid you not, we are in a picture perfect, sun illuminated, gorgeous day here in the Andes Mountains. So as you were sharing that about basking in the sun and I was connecting with our sun here, I immediately felt from my heart to yours this huge crystalline bridge open up. And as I'm feeling this, and as you're sitting there receiving this gift, I'm also feeling anyone who wants to experience the energy of this bridge, that in this moment, my angel, the gift that you and I are giving each other is being right here holding these ends of the bridge. And so in the country that you are sitting in right now, in the United States of America, I beam to you all of the blessings right here from the center of the Andes Mountains in Ecuador, from the place of perfect balance, literally at the equator, the place of balance. I'm sending up northward to you today in this equilateral cross of the ikigai moment, a rainbow bridge that is a transcendent energy that will assist any who seek to join, the ability to transcend all dimensions and move forward into the next evolution of consciousness. And I'm kind of starting to lose my breath. Let's just kind of breathe in. My heart's feeling really big. There's just so many of us here. Wow. Sharika, open your eyes. I'm opening mine. Bright, bright, bright. Open your eyes as bright as you can, honey. You are a spiritual powerhouse. And we all say thank you for giving us this gift today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Big
Thank
hug,
you.
many blessings, dear.
Blessings. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Thank you, my love. Many blessings. Namaste. And I'm exhausted. Forgive me. I don't think I've ever stopped insulting today, guys. And I think, Shri, we've been teasing everybody, and maybe we should talk about this a little bit. Or how would you like to proceed, my love? It's your show, Shri Ramka.
Oh, I got the show.
He's got the show, don't we know?
Well, one of the things Kira and I mentioned is that, as we mentioned earlier, we are at a time where you might say there is a war underway. You could call it a war, you could call it a intense polarity. The point of the matter is that we are all opening up a portal of pure light. Now, the path of self-ascension is to be able to touch in to those higher frequencies, to resolve your worldly issues, your worldly karma and trauma, so that you can be consciously choosing this moment of ascension, as opposed to kind of falling into it at a time of transition.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with any choice. However, our role here, Kira and I, is to hold open this portal and to continue to lift through the frequencies, thus showing the way.
And before we go any further about that, I do want to jump in and share that Shri and I were really agonizing as to whether or not we were going to share some of this today, and we realized that it had to be shared. And we've been formulating and talking about this all morning. But before we share any more, I just want to acknowledge what's going on in the chat room over at onenesstalkradio.com. And if you're listening to the show anywhere, anytime, give yourself the gift of being part of this miraculous chat room with, bar none, the most amazing community I think I have ever seen in my life. Incredible, incredible. But a lot of people are giving their 4 ikigai energies, and I wanted to just share this. Here's one, guest 833. My 4 energies would be love, truth, authenticity, and surrender, trust. Of course, those are the 4 steps of self-ascension as well. Here's another one. My ikigai is clairvoyant, trust, breath, believe. Here, there's just so much here. And then we have some birthdays going on in here. And I will mention earlier, somebody had asked if Shri's birthday was in May. No, it's actually in July. July 10 is my Cancer man's birthday. But I just wanted to share that a lot of people are also connecting that have been in a quantum clairvoyance class. Glory talking about that. So thank you all, because what we're getting ready to share, I think Shri needs to be framed in the just on behalf of both of us, that I wasn't. It's so intimate yet so important, and yet so humbling. Yeah. That I just wanted to take this moment and honor all of you, because all of these ensoulments that are pouring through ever since, the divine directors came in during this whole time. And it's like, Shri's literally had to have he has physically been tortured from his root to his 5th chakra. And then there's been a lot that's been going on in my own sense of how to experience this and witnessing and lifting through it. We absolutely know we have been prepared for what's happening, but we also absolutely know you're a part of it, because you have been with this in real time. We are merely catalysts for all of us, and that's why we're sharing all this with you.
One of the things that we're able to do and be is our destiny, or we serve a role here on this planet.
We all do.
And every one of us has a destiny. Every one of us has a service.
Exactly.
And in our service, you get to witness a big part of that through these communications, the radio shows, and of course through our workshops and events where we're a little more up close and personal. And one of the things that I want to acknowledge is that my beloved Kira Ra is constantly kind of clearing the fields, the holy fields of the riffraff, of the negative, of the demonic, of these energies that would seek to congest, clog, and capture density. And so she's on the front line of this holy war, standing as a warrioress, radiating love and light, and saying, "We will pass, we will ascend, we will move through the whatever BS is being presented." And I don't want to give too many nouns or adjectives. It's just, I think you know what I'm talking about. That when we are in a moment of lifting out of the density-based dramas,
Yeah.
there are energies that would seek to put you back.
And this is just part of it. Remember that there is that which is light and that which is not light. There is the balance, the harmony, but it's about the balance, and it's about maintaining the balance. And it's when we come to these moments where the balance is being challenged that we are given massive leaps in our consciousness as available strides. And we are at one of those moments right now.
It's happening now.
Yeah.
And for those of you that know a bit of the Indian mythology and religion, there is a goddess called Durga.
This is in the, yeah.
And Durga, she rides the lion, and she does what no man could do. She conquered the demons. Now, that energy is one that my beloved carries, this Durga energy of, I will go, I'll do it. I will do it. Well, here's the thing we wish to share, is there is a multitude of resistance, of fear, of negative energies, and it needs more than just Kira. We need people to stand by her side. We need all the warriors of light to say, I'm ready. I will stand at the edge of the darkness. I will stand on the battleground. I will be on the fields, and I will radiate truth, love, light, so that the pathway through, the pathway up, however you wish to hold that in your brain, the pathway is illuminated, it is safe, it is clear. And each of us has a role to play, and each of us is a warrior in our own way. And sometimes we take turns. Sometimes we're standing aside. Sometimes we run ahead. But the point of the matter is, choose. Declare the truth of your own capacity as a general, as a 5-star orchestrator of light, to be able to say, Kira Ra, I'll stand with you in this journey. And Shri and Kira, we are traveling together, because we are.
Yeah, it's about all of us,
It
right?
is.
This isn't about any one of us. And it's kind of fascinating. Part of what we were witnessing today, and thank you, I'm going to start crying. People talking about how we've been in their dreams. We have had a lot of people writing us saying we have been in their dreams. And, a lot of people sitting here, yes, oh, we love you so much. Thank you. And this is part of the message. My whole crown, by the way, guys, oh my gosh, those of you that are connecting, feel your crown. My whole crown right now feels like
I'm perspiring.
totally tingly. Wow, yeah, very tingly. But what we were so shown this morning was when Shri and I first came together 17 years ago, and those of you that have read Sacred Union, The Journey Home, and if you haven't read it, read it, get that book, read it.
Book.
Good book, really good book. There's a reason it's still in print. We have been given very specific loving guidance as to what we would be doing. And we've always known that my role was almost one of the warrior, but yet I had this beautiful guardian standing next to me. And there has been a moment very recently where, if you listen to our show a couple weeks ago, we read another one of these private ensoulments that came through, just a very short one, where there was this vision of me literally in like an eternal temple hospital right now, and I was in this white sari with my arms out, and I had like 100,000 IVs in there, and it was like I was sending life support to all these beings, and who are sending life support to them. And over these past few weeks with Shri, my density, and this is why I had to keep becoming the witnesser, witnessing the witness over and over and over again, my density was traumatized so often. There were so many times doctors looked me in the eyes and told me, he's not coming back from this. He's, this is it. It's over. Put a smile on your face. You can't go into ICU crying, the whole thing. And I realized as I was at that front line that I have been standing on the front line so long alone because I carry this energy of Durga saying, don't worry, I've got this, you know? And we are at a unique moment where what they were showing us this morning is that I've been doing really well navigating a lot of direct attacks for 17 years. As a lot of you know, I've had a lot of direct attacks. And lately, it's like the direct attack energy has become so huge because the universe is looking for the generals. And so the divine directors are here to call you out. And they're saying, get on the line with us because
Together we are
together
stronger.
we are better, you know?
Yeah.
And when we stand up together, we are hand in hand. We are light to light, and all we have to do is stand strong in who we are. It means you come up and take my hand, and together we know who we are. And together we know who we are. And we are currently in a peak moment of miracle presence. And this is the moment to just stand up and say yes. And you know, that's what the app was all about. That's why Shri and I put the app out there so that we could come together in a really safe space. And isn't it interesting that Apple has really been fighting our app? They've been fighting our updates. We've been having interesting crash problems with Apple. They're now demanding more things from us. I mean, we have gone under more scrutiny than I think anybody. And so
It's crazy.
it's
Whereas
nuts.
the Android is
whereas the Android
perfect.
has been interesting, clear sailing, no problems at all. But so if you have our app on Apple, please give us a good review. And if you don't want to give us a good review, let us know and we'll fix it. But maybe a few more good reviews would help, some 5-star reviews. I don't know. But the reason I'm sharing it is that we have been attacked everywhere. And remember, right after we had put in the new Cristo here at Tosa Blue Mountain, Shri had his attack and wound up nearly dead the next day. So there is this powerful energy, and together we are better. And you know, I would ask you to say, yes, Kira Ra, I will stand at the front line with you. And this is not about me, and it's not about Shri, and it's not even about you. It's about us. So that when we are hand in hand and we look in each direction, as far as we can see is a solid beam of light that cannot be penetrated.
Yes.
That, my angels, is how we will continue this journey, and we will be brighter than ever. And no matter what has been happening in your life right now, it's because you're a general, and a general never forgets what it's like to be on the front line, and a general always remembers the fear of someone stepping to the line the first time, and a general takes a bullet for anyone because a general knows what it is. And I give you my commitment that I have said yes to claiming my generalship, and I invite you to claim yours with me because I know together we are better.
One of the reasons we have a dark night of the soul, one of the reasons that we spiral, call it downward or sadly, is that we're remembering how to turn on the light again. And in the purpose of a dark night of the soul is to cultivate that inner strength, to make the choice. I will stand up. I am. I am. I am good. I am love. I am light. I'm okay. But it prefaces with the fundamental truth of I am.
Yes.
And you know, when I was in the hospital, there were a number of experiences, and one of them was floating over this inky black ocean of demonic energy. And these nasty hands and grotesque faces were trying to pull me in.
This was when he was in intensive care.
And the only weapon they had, other than the visual horror, was fear. If I allowed fear to become real for me, then I would be in a Velcro moment with those forces pulling me in. And in that moment, it became so clear to me that I was not that I was not fear, that I was an eternal illuminated being, witnessing these presences. And with that moment came further upliftment and came further revelations, which is for another time to share. But the piece I want to say to you is beyond all the worldly, beyond the emotional, beyond the mental, there you are. And it's lining that up that is self-ascension. Many people only discover the truth of their eternalness, the truth of their formless, scented self when they're in the moment of transition. Each of you has the opportunity to practice and anchor that truth now and have the joy of living an ascended life while still playing in form, still having the worldly experience, being untouchable. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's the front line. That's self-ascension. That's, as Archangel Zadkiel always said so beautifully, the gift of self-ascension is that you get to live the gift of who you really are while you're still carrying a body, rather than having to free yourself from it to know your truth. And I just want to share so much that I'm just looking over here, and I was trying for you guys not to see my tears. I think I might have raccoon eyes right now. Thank you for what's going on over here in the chat in Oneness Talk Radio. And we love you so, so, so much. And my angels, you are just the reason for being. And together we are better. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that this was the whole reason OneNessTalkRadio.com was created, is that we sincerely, with all our heart, feel that the more that we can come together with the unified voice of this experience, and that voice takes different shapes and names and experiences, but when we can bring it together in one place, then we can sincerely make a shift. And again, that's the other reason for the app. If you don't yet have our app, please go to either Google or Apple and download. It's free. Spiritual Mastery with Shri and Kira. Be a part of this extraordinary community that is making a difference. It sincerely is. And speaking of making a difference, and if I keep reading all these, you guys are just going to have me flooding. I am just like so overwhelmed. All these general energies. Maybe we should say hello to some more of these amazing beings, Shri,
Sure.
with so many
We
people
have
on
time
hold.
for one more,
All
I think.
right, we're going to go to Spain, and we're going to say hello, namaste to Spain.
Maybe we should say hello to some more of these amazing beings, Sri. All right.
Okay. Turn off your speaker.
Okay, turn your speaker down.
Hello?
Hello, dear.
Hello, can you turn down your speaker?
Hello?
Hi.
There you
Hello?
go.
Hi.
We're waiting for you to turn off the background speaker.
We might have too much delay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you beautifully, sweetheart.
Okay, I can't believe it that I'm talking with you.
Thank you.
I so grateful for you. You too, so beautiful, with so much light. And you are helping me now to hang in there because I'm really struggling. I'm quite struggling right now. And
And sweetheart, I want you to just breathe in. There you go, and relax. And I'm going to put you on mute, but I want to share a little message with you. First and foremost, I want you to keep your hands on your heart and slow your breath and really begin to feel right standing behind you right now. It feels to me like the Virgin of Guadalupe, and she has her hands right around you, right here on her shoulders. And I'm watching this crown of stars start moving, and it's spinning and it's lifting up. And as I'm sharing that, I'm getting a really strong feeling in the top of my crown chakra. And I'm watching this crown kind of hover above you. And I'm watching all of your fear and all of your doubt and all of your pain. It's like it's just going up into this crown. And she's holding you and whispering and saying, "My most beloved child, I am with you always. Fear not, the best is yet to come." And so it is, my love. I love you, honey. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
Fear not, the best is yet to come.
It really is. And thank you, my angel. And Shri, we're going to go to another caller here. We've got from Folsom, California. Namaste, beloved one. Welcome.
hi.
Hi.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, My name is Sophia.
Hi,
I'm so grateful for your presence, Sri and Kira, and for this community. And I'm calling to request a meaningful reading.
Oh, Sophia, thank you. Thank you for how beautiful you are. You know, as I'm connecting with you, if it's possible to just put even one hand on your third chakra, I would invite you to just do that and really just give yourself a minute and breathe into your third chakra. Just relax into your third chakra. And as you're doing that, I'm feeling this big, like, goopy kind of energy that's rising up out of your third chakra, and it's just kind of like dissolving, like it's just lifting up and dissolving. And this message that's coming in, it's coming into your right ear, by the way, and I'm feeling it as a very high pitched vibration. And the message that's coming into your right ear is simply saying that it is time to let that which is finished dissolve, and that there's nothing you need to hold on to, and that everything that you're asking for has already been put into motion, and that in this moment of the energy of the resurrection, the gift you can give yourself, they're saying, go outside, throw open your arms, breathe in the air, and remember the truth of who you are. And so it is, my love. Thank you for the gift of connecting with you, Sophia. You're beautiful. Thank you, my angel.
Thank you. Thank
my
you,
honey.
angel.
Thank you. I love you, honey. Many blessings. Many
Love you
blessings.
too.
We love you, sweetheart. Oh, Shri, such an amazing
It's
gift. And
beautiful hearts.
how does our show end this quickly? I don't even know how this happens. And
We're
guys,
getting close to the time. We got a minute.
we have like 1 minute, and there's so many of you on hold. We had so many more emails. What Shri and I really want to share with you in this moment is this: you're the general, and those of you that have the app, please really go read today's weekly and sold message. It is going to really hit you at a very deep level as well. And for those of you that are listening, we are just so grateful you're here with us every week, because you are on the front line. There is a battle for the dominion of your brain. We do encourage you to stay disconnected as you feel called to for another week or so yet, and to trust that you will hear what you need to hear when you hear it, while you are empowering your command of the co-creative light that is yours to harness right now.
In order to lift and take advantage of this escalator to expansion that is before us right now, choices have to be made. And one of those choices is to unplug from the Velcro of density. This does not mean you disconnect. You unplug from the stickiness of it. And that stickiness, that Velcro, is the energy that will keep you down, that will keep reigniting fear and loss and all of it. And so, beloved ones, trust your hearts, trust yourselves, stay connected in community, and know that we love you and we look forward to being with you next week.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you for joining us today. Remember that you can find out more about Shri and Kira by going to shriandkira.com. That's SRIANDKIRA.com. You can also find their websites and books on their webtalkradio.net page. Just click on a book if you'd like more information about how to purchase it. And we'll see you again next week, right here for 2012 Higher Love.